Hello there. Welcome to another talk. This podcast, and my talks are always meditative, and this one is called Playing the Victim is Narcissistic Personality Disorder. Because that's exactly what it is. And I'm talking directly to those people that go on the internet and, they talk about narcissists, but they don't realize that they are in fact the narcissists. Because I watched a video a few years ago by a psychiatrist on YouTube when I was first finding out about narcissism. And he said one of the things they do is they bring you down to bring themselves up. Well, that's what anyone's doing when they demonize the narcissist. And it's just a way of externalizing things, pushing it outward. It's a way. It's an unconscious way to deflect away from yourself, to externalize. And what this is, it's actually mass narcissism. You see? And when pay attention to how you feel in that moment when you're demonizing this person. Even if they may be a narcissist, probably are. But how you feel about it, how you feel about them doing whatever they're doing or being however they are, that's your unconscious issues, the bad feelings that you've got, how badly aroused and negative that you feel. I call it the inner narcissist. We all have inner narcissists. I'm not a psychiatrist or anything like that. If you're new to my website or just discovered this talk on YouTube, what happened to me was 10 years ago I had a massive Kundalini / spiritual awakening. Crazy experienced, literally Kundalini awakening. My whole body, there was not drugs or anything like that. My whole body was going through spasms, and the energy was source energy. But to cut a long story short, I went through this journey of going within and healing. And in that, when you're healing yourself, you're becoming aware of your own shadow. But there's a collective shadow. And the collective shadow is what's going on just now in the world, where this side is blaming that side is blaming the other side, and what the two sides are actually doing, they're actually experiencing the global shadow. You see, the shadow is so what they're experiencing is the unconsciousness of the planet, the issues of the planet. You see? So part of this is getting, part of this healing that I went through in this journey. And the healing, the energies I was experiencing at the start, they're now very strong in me again. But the Kundalini thing, the body going through all these spasms, this source orgasmic energy, that was showing me what I can have. I then had to go on a healing path, and now, as I've went through the process, the energies were coming back. So the path was showing me what I could have if I do the healing. Because it's all that energy, that source energy is deep within us. but it's blocked off because of this collective shadow that I'm talking about. So as you heal more and more, it's like you're aligning with this orgasmic consciousness. But, first things first, we've got to stop playing the victim. We've got to stop virtue signaling. All this kind of things, and not just virtue signaling, but, that kind of mentality where you're trying to get attention. You're trying to demonize narcissists on the internet. That is narcissism. You see? What narcissism really is you're dishing out your unconsciousness onto others. You're dishing out your inner unconscious traumas, the bad feelings you've got, and you're externalizing it, and if it's really bad, you're hurting other people. And when you're hurting others, that's when it's a problem. I don't think there's a problem with ego or narcissism if it's not hurting other people, because you need some level of ego to get anything done. You look at all the great people that do great things. There's a force there, and that force is ego. You see? But when it's at a level when it's hurting others, you're saying things to them, you're hurting them because of how bad you feel, that's when it's becoming an issue. You see? And the biggest narcissists are those that, like I say, play the victim. They seek attention. It's like, parents that use this situation that's going on in the world just now, and they use it, the kind of people I'm talking about. And to them, virtue signaling is more important than their children. Now, there's something not right there with people like that. That's a level of narcissism that is dangerous. But like I say, a level of narcissism or ego that is not hurting other people, that's not a problem. So, but if you feel that your narcissism, your ego, your narcissism is hurting other people, then it's time to do something about it. With me, my awakening happened because I sat down one day and had enough. And within a moment, everything changed, and then the awakening started. And at the start, it was crazy. I went through a rebirthing. I was getting thought forms coming into me, telling me what was happening. I went through a rebirthing, back to the womb, experience being born all over again. Lots of tears. The body was going into all this ecstasy feelings. No drugs involved, by the way. This lasted for about 2 weeks, and these body was shaking and muscle spasms and just, and but to get that, it was about doing the inner healing. And because, like I say, this orgasmic energy, this source bliss is at the core of who you are. But to get to it, it's inner healing. So when you react negatively to things, when you demonize, when you're talking badly about others, what are you trying to deflect away from? There's a negative arousal within you that is trying to push away from that unconscious issue or trauma. And you want to heal it, because if you don't heal it, it can manifest, it will manifest itself physically in physical illness. Disease is dis-ease. German new medicine proved how all illness comes from disease. Disease is disease. So the best way to heal it, quickest way to heal yourself is to just pay attention to your triggers. Pay attention to what triggers you, right? Anything that gets you overexcited and arousal, in any type of arousal, meditate on that. And the meditation is the key and the doorway into understanding what you need to heal. I'm not saying all arousal is bad. I mean, sometimes it can be good in the right situation. But when you are aroused, say it's a sexual encounter with two people that really like each other, that's a healing situation. And that's why they make a mockery out of that sex. That's why. So, but as a whole, what I really want to say in this talk is that as a whole, it's about going within. Everything's a distraction. If it's not telling you to go within it, then it's a distraction. So pay attention to when you're playing the victim, seeking attention, virtue signaling, demonizing the narcissist. You see that a lot now. And if you pay attention to it, you'll see that when you're demonizing the so-called narcissist, that's narcissism. That's your inner narcissist. Deflecting away from itself, demonizing, externalizing. You see? And then what you'll notice is once you go within, and you're healing these issues, then you won't feel like doing this kind of thing. And you'll notice you'll feel better. The depression that you've got will fade to nothing, as it did with me. And then you're accessing that orgasmic energy. And that's what the Great Awakening, this awakening's all about. Is about going into the new earth. And to do that, we've got to heal the collective shadow. So to heal the collective shadow, it's about everybody paying attention to their triggers, because those triggers are part of the collective. So part of that is when you're playing the victim, when you're getting offended. The disease is leftism. And being a snowflake. Because what that is, it's issues within yourself. So when you get that reaction, pay attention to that instead of the external thing. Forgive yourself if you can't do that, and you're unconscious for a moment, and then start again. You've got to forgive yourself if you make a mistake, because that as well blocks chakras and energies. But I'm just going to leave it there. For latest updates, talks, news, research, and much, much more, please do visit my website. My talks are always at the top of my homepage on my website. My website address is www.lovelightfamily.com. Thank you.